Hey, what's up, guys? Sean Fowler here, host of Speak Up Sports. I got a very special guest today on this Thursday evening. One of my close friends, somebody I work with also in the broadcasting game. Our broadcasting company is called the Just Good Network. He's here with me right now on the right side. You see him, Jansen Harris. Jansen, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling,
I'm
man. I'm
chilling, man. I'm
chilling.
chilling.
That's
I'm
good,
happy
man. It's
being
good.
here
Being here
about
about
the
the
depressing
depressing
Jets and
Jets
Knicks,
and Knicks.
but of
But of
course, I'm
course, I'm
happy though.
happy though.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. I appreciate you, coming and things like that, man. And yeah, like it's like we see the title says New York State of Mind, right? For me, I've been knowing Jansen since honestly middle school, and I first discovered he was a Jets fan or New York Knicks fan back in when I graduated, from college, and so we never get to talk the Jets. We never get to talk about the Knicks, teams like that. We never talk about his favorite teams. We usually stay focused on the Atlanta teams here, in Atlanta, Georgia, or some other say trending teams like whether it's LeBron James and whichever team he's on. The teams that are doing something significant. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? I gotta have Jansen on the show. I like to see him talk about his favorite team. How does he feel about it? People think he's a Falcons fan. He's talking about Matt Ryan. He's got the Matt Ryan bash from Atlanta Twitter. And he's got the praise as well. But all that being said is that people don't know who Jansen's favorite team is. You know what I mean? So I just want to talk today and just read his mind a little bit, see what he has to say, about his favorite teams, man. Because hey, your favorite team matters too, Jansen. You talk about everybody else. What about you? What about Jansen? You know what I mean? So that being said, man, I just want to get into it, man. Again, I'm glad you're here. It's a blessing to have you on here, and we'll get started, man. So my first question, man. Obviously, like I said, you're a New York Jets fan. So what made you become a diehard Jets fan? Then let's say a New York Giants fan. What was it
That's
about
a
the Jets?
that's a
That's a
great
great.
question. It was random. Grew up in New York. For some reason, I didn't want to be a Giants fan. I just thought the Jets were cool. Loved the green. Just grew up watching them. Always watched them on CBS. It was they either had a 1 o'clock game or the Giants had a 1 o'clock game. The other teams at four, so I would just go from CBS to Fox. Back when I used to live in New York, but that's a great question. I've always been a loyal Jet fan. Always excited to see them, whether we make the playoffs or not. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2010, so obviously they've been doing a lot of losing. They won 4 games last year. Only one road game they won, which is pretty pathetic. But I'm excited, man. 3 first-round picks. They got an edge rusher, Sauce Gardner. I like the swag. I like his playmaking ability. Hopefully, he could do some things. Garrett Wilson got another guy from Ohio State who look, he's one of those receivers who could take over a game, in my opinion. So you match him up with Zach Wilson, who I hope takes less sacks and the offensive line can protect him. The sky's the limit for the Jets. Zach Wilson, he has to deliver. Robert Salah, I think he'll improve this team. This team, the draft picks coming in, the young players will get better. They should win more than 4 games. I hope so. So look, maybe 7, 8 games this year. I think the Jets will be a lot better. But to answer your question, man, I've just always been a Jet fan, diehard
Hard
Jets fan.
Jets.
I'm gonna be a
I'm be
Jets
a
fan
Jets fan.
for type of vibe.
No, I respect that, man. And it's cool because anytime, at least for the NFL now, it's like it's not. It used to be the bandwagon teams. Let's say I don't know, maybe who were the bandwagon teams growing up? Let's just say it was the Falcons, even though people because Michael Vick. Michael Vick's my favorite. If I'm a Falcons fan, you're really a Michael Vick fan. I didn't really hear a lot of Patriot fans even when we were growing up. It just didn't match. But the point though is that anytime I hear that someone say they're a Bears or a Jets fan or somebody like that, it's like I know you're loyal. And you might know some football because, and especially if that's not where you stay now. Like obviously you're in Georgia now. You know what I mean? Like if you say you're a Jets fan, I'm gonna know you. I believe you because it's a loyal team. Oh, my bad. The Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of bandwagon fans now. You know what I mean? Teams like that, maybe the Rams now. But anytime someone says the Bills or somebody else, the Titans, I'm like, oh, I want to hear more what they have to say because off the bat they haven't had success. So I know you're a loyal fan. So Jansen, you know what I mean? it's always good to hear. Hey, you're a diehard fan. You're loyal. You're gonna be a Jets fan to the day that hey, we transition. You know what I mean? So it's good to hear, man. And also as well, who are your favorite players? Who are your favorite players from the Jets, man, growing up, or just even now, I guess.
That's a good question. Curtis, my man, Martin. Curtis Martin, man. Favorite Jet player of all time. Love Curtis Martin. Mr. Consistent. He was going to give me 1,000 yards rushing back when the running game actually meant something in the NFL. Curtis Martin. probably my favorite Jets player, man. It was sad to see him retire. I used to really love the Jets at that time. When I was a kid, I knew like every player on the team. It was different back when I was a kid. So I would say, yeah, I would go with Curtis Martin. Just consistent, a guy who can get you the 100 yards a game, a guy who'll just always on the field, one of the Jets' emotional leaders, also a guy who led by example. Also, Lavertius Coles. I used to like his little celebration. He used to go like this. He was cool. Wayne Corbett. There's a lot of Jets guys. Chad Pennington. When I was a kid, I thought Pennington was pretty good. I would say Chad Pennington. Vinny Testaverde, always coming out of retirement. For some reason, he got multiple chances with the Jets. Looking back at it now, it probably didn't deserve it. But those ones that come to mind. Santana Moss, he was cool for a little bit while I was on the Jets. Bart Scott. Antonio Cromartie, can't forget about him. Revis. Yeah, just a bunch of Jet players that I like.
Nah, man. And the more you continue to name it, you kind of had some studs, man. I remember that time. I remember the 2009, 2010, 2000. That 3-year window when Rex Ryan was there, Cromartie, Revis. Bart Scott came.
Hall of Fame center. Almost forgot about him.
Nick Mango as well, and even Sanchez was a Jet quarterback. However you describe that, he fit the Jets.
How they coming up Ferguson? I remember him.
The Brickenshaw Ferguson too, exactly, man. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's Thomas Jones. Thomas Jones was nice.
Sean Green.
Sean Green. LT. Wait a minute. LT was nice too. All them guys, man. Yeah, actually has some players, and like you said, man, and we might get to this a little later. I feel like you're gonna pick one of these games, but I mean that 2-year window, man, with Rex Ryan, y'all the top of the conference almost a little bit, second best in the conference. You know what I mean? So
we had a strong defense. We had strong corners. We had a great in Rex Ryan. I believed in Rex Ryan. People didn't like him too much, but that was one of my favorite Jet coaches. Him, Herm Edwards, really respected Rex Ryan. It was a great 2-year period for the Jets. It felt like we actually went to a Super Bowl.
Hey, you were close, man. You were close. So again, transition to today, man. What you mentioned, Zach Wilson. You know what I mean? Obviously, some of the other players are still there today. You guys have had the quarterback carousel. Sam Darnold, 2018, his first pass, pick 6 in Detroit. I remember we were texting, man. Monday Night Football, first pass ever. You got the Jets fans were excited. It's kind of like the Bears fans. Oh, we got our quarterback. Draft days. It's like it's in Gotham and stuff. Yeah, we got Sam. Oh, Sam's out. You know what I mean? So now you got Zach Wilson, man, and he's the face of the franchise for now. We see Matt White, if that's his name, last year had some success. We want Matt, and then he's out the door or he's not starting. But how do you feel about the Jets today, man? How do you feel about the Jets today?
Watch out for 5'10", 24-year-old running back from Maryland, Ty Johnson. I think Ty Johnson, if he can stay healthy, he gets some carries. He's a player that's promising for the Jets. Ty Johnson is on my watch. I believe in the kid. I think he runs hard. If he can stay healthy, he gets the carries, the Jets' offensive line does something, then Ty Johnson could have a big year. I'm looking for Zach Wilson to be more comfortable in this offense. I'm looking for him to make plays down the field, but also be smart. He had some games where he threw a lot of interceptions. He had some games where he wasn't effective. I expect him to be better. And I expect some of these Jet rookies to step up, come in here. Some of these young players like Sauce Gardner. I think he could come in there and make an impact day one. Jets need to get pressure. They need to rush the quarterback and protect the quarterback. And if they could do that, then they could have some success. And Davis at the wide receiver position, we'll see how he does. Corey Davis still trying to prove himself. We just seen the highlight right there. He's a guy that needs to prove that he's a legit number one guy. And I would want to give people the hometown credit and say, oh, well, he's going to be a number one, but I don't know about that. We have to see. I need some consistency out of him. I need big plays down the field. So we'll see if Corey Davis is truly a number one player, like he says he is, and a number one receiver or WR1, wide receiver one. We'll see if he could prove that. But the Jets just need to do better. This is a team overall that now has some pieces in play. They're not the most talented team in the league, but they're a fairly young team with some pieces. There's no excuse for just winning 4 games. I believe next season could be 7 to 8 wins. And really, if you're a fan of Kansas City or teams that are literally always in the playoffs, you're like, damn, there's really no expectations to say 7 or 8 games. But if you're a Jets fan, you get the drift, or even a Giants fan, because of course they watch their games too. It's pretty bad in New York right now, unless you live in Buffalo, which not a lot of people used to claim Buffalo. But so the main two New York teams, I think the Jets winning 8 games, it'll be a successful season.
No, that's true, man. And I feel like with the Jets, like I said, I mean, I see potential somewhat in Zach Wilson. We see this game, and they beat the number 1 seed Titans. Obviously, this is early in the year. I think this is the third or fourth game of the season, but this is a big win for you guys. I think you guys end up coming back and beating the Tennessee Titans, at home. You know what I mean? So this is Zach Wilson's best game, I believe, as a quarterback for y'all team. So, the Jets, you guys always have that weird win. I think you beat the Rams last season or two seasons ago, but you lost against like a team who hasn't won a game the next week. So it's always kind of funny, with you guys competing and beating guys. But hey, you beat Seattle. That's right, you beat Seattle too. No, that was the Giants that beat Seattle. You beat the Rams and lost to somebody else. I forgot who it was 2 years ago.
And we got some young guys. Got some guys who got to stay healthy. I remember C.J. Mosley when he played with Baltimore, how effective and dominant he was. And of course, just like a lot of free agents with the Jets, and I hate to be that guy to bring it up, guys come to the Jets, they get hurt, suspended, something weird happens. But a healthy C.J. Mosley, which he was last year, he's still a defective player. Quentin Williams up front, high drafted defensive tackle. He was pretty good. I think he'll continue to do some things. And Franklin Myers, he was the guy off the edge I really like. Got an interception last year, had 6 sacks. He could continue to be that edge rusher. I like him. And the Jets continue to get pressure up front. Huff, he had a pretty good year. He played in 9 games last year for the Jets. Just needed consistent. They have some young pieces. If these guys play together, stay motivated, maybe have some early season success, then the sky's the limit for them. I think that would be a successful season. Like I said in the previous point, 8 wins for the Jets. That would be appropriate to me. And it's not a fairly tough division either. Let's just be real.
It might be a tough division now. You got cheated coming to Miami. I don't know, man. Buffalo. We know New England. So I don't know, brother Chance. I don't know about it. I don't know about not tough no more.
I don't have to worry about the cheater. They don't have a quarterback.
Ooh, they don't have a quarterback in Miami.
I'm not really convinced. We'll see. We'll see what we get out of the Patriots. They're an 8-9 win team to me. Call it hate, whatever. 8-9 win team. And Buffalo, of course, they're class of the division. They're going to win the division. Hands down. Josh Allen gets hurt. God forbid. Don't want that to happen to the franchise quarterback and one of the highest paid players in the league getting hurt. But unless that happens, they're pretty much rule the division.
No, I hear you definitely, man. I mean, and I'll give you credit too. Back in 2018, Jansen was the first guy that I know that said Josh Allen was gonna have a great season. He said he's gonna be the elite. And a couple of our friends in the group chat, I was like, I don't think Josh is horrible, but he's on the Mitch level to me. Him and Mitch Trubisky was kind of the same level. Now, if you say that today, they were like, wait a minute, wasn't Mitch Trubisky just backing up Josh Allen last season? He's nowhere near his level. So, hey, Jansen, you got that scouting eye. You sometimes you look like a scout as well. You got the clipboard. You're the coach. You're the recruiter. Hey, you're great at that as well. On top of being a broadcaster. So yeah, you definitely
got the book,
poke that out. Exactly, you got the book and everything, man. But yeah, man. So but with Zach Wilson as well, he had almost 23. He had 2,234 yards last year, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I know he lost some fumbles as well. You want to at least flip the touchdown interception ratio. You know what I mean? So he could definitely continue to take care of the ball. But I like his legs as well. He's mobile. He's still a rookie. He didn't play the whole season. He was out for about 6 weeks as well. So I think hopefully, you know what I mean, he can stay healthy, praying for him, and the best is yet to come for the Jets. But all that being said, man, yeah, go ahead. Do you want to say something?
Cut those turnovers. Please cut the turnovers down. Gain that relationship. I want to see what Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. I'm excited about this kid. This kid was drafted high for a reason. Look, if you're the Jets organization, let's be real. When you have 3 picks in the first round, 2 picks in the top 10. You got to land on something. As a Jet fan, I'm speaking to the in Georgia, and for some odd reason, and that just shows you how loyal Jet fans are. They sell out every game, regardless of what happens. And the selling point is this. You've got Zach Wilson, who was super hyped up, was drafted number 2 last year. The Jets have young pieces. Quentin Williams, like I mentioned before, had a promising year last year. C.J. Mosley, I believe he's going to do some damage. Corey Davis should get better. And then you look at a Jets team that has 3 first-round picks this year. Got yourself the cornerback, got yourself the receiver, and an edge rusher. Somebody has to hit. Somebody got to be good. I mean, damn, if nobody there is good, maybe it's time to fire somebody. Seriously.
No, definitely, man. It's definitely. I know the rebuilding word is tiresome for the Jets and the Lions and teams like that, who historically have a lot of great fans. But it's like, damn. I mean, can we compete sometime? Can we not always be the first pick in the draft? You know what I mean? So I can imagine you guys being sick and tired of that, man. But all that being said, man, I mean, hey, we live and learn. Hopefully, some of these players, the general manager lives and learns and understands. You know what? I have to make the right. I need the right fit, and credit to Robert Saleh. I'm glad he got the job. But hey, if you have another losing season, I mean, hey, but the same. Go ahead.
Let's win 4 games this year. We'll see how that chatter looks like media. Go out there and win 4 games. You're gonna see some pissed off Jet fans. I'm pissed off thinking about it.
I don't even see Fireman Ed no more. Where's Fireman Ed? He's doing commercials.
He quit. He offered me the job. He said, "You want to go out there?" I said, "No."
He said no. Shout out to Fireman Ed, guys. And see, like I respect that though. I like the Fireman Ed. The fact that there's a Fireman Ed is like, how many times has Fireman Ed seen a losing season? It's like that Toronto Raptors guy with the turban. You know what I mean? It's similar. It's like, but you know what? When they went to the finals, you felt for him because he's always there. Fireman Ed is always there. He's on the DoorDash commercials now or Grubhub, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Jets. So I respect fans like that, and that goes back to the first question. Asking why were you a Jets fan? Because I mean, hey, when the team's losing a lot, why? But you know what? The Falcons. I'm a Falcons fan. It's starting to be like that for us too. But hey, it's not about me. It's about you, Brother Jansen. Now, so transitioning, man. We talked about the New York Jets. Talk about the New York Knicks, man. The New York Knicks. Yeah, man. Oh, you know what? Real quick, before we get to the Knicks, man. What was the most heartbreaking loss as a Jets fan? What was the most heartbreaking loss for you, man? If you can remember. It got to be one of the championship games.
Yeah. I think both of those. Just seeing Peyton Manning getting stink and just really dissect that Jets defense. And I remember sometime in the second half, I came to reality and was like, yeah, we're not going to win this game. He knows where the blitzes are coming from. Another first down. Reggie Wayne inside the 25. Brandon stuff. I'm like, oh, man. They're bringing up bad memories. The crowd going crazy. Sanchez over the middle intercepted. I'm like, oh, man, we're going home, man. We're never coming back. And then against Pittsburgh, same thing. I think we were down like 24-0. We started, of course, storming back in the second half. End up losing that game. But you just know, like, wow, as a Jets fan, we might not ever come back. And then, hey, we're never back. But both those moments were just like, wow, man. That's it.
That's it, man. Unfortunately, I understand. I understand what it's like as a Falcons fan. Heartbreaking loss. I still haven't recovered from the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? NFC Championship game against Cap. A few seasons prior before that, up 20-0 at halftime or 17-0 at halftime, only to see NaVar Bowman hit Roddy White. We end up losing the game 24-20, heartbreak in the Georgia Dome. But no, man, I understand that, man. I just had to ask you that question, man, because we always talk off camera talking about the Steelers back in the day, the 405 games, the black hole, Pennington sack by Joey Porter. What Joey Porter is. Ike Taylor come out of nowhere. But no, man. Go ahead, my bad.
Hey, when I was a Kansas Jet fan, when you see at Steelers, at Ravens, you start seeing them at games against some 7-2 teams, 9-1. Some losses are coming, man. On prime time TV too.
Exactly. And you got to win 2 games to get in. You barely mathematically they're still alive, Jim. They're still alive mathematically. Exactly, bro. But transitioning, man. Transition to the Knicks, man. So like, let me just ask you this. I'm gonna restart it real quick. What made you be a Knicks fan and not a Nets? Just real quick.
Well, you gotta love the Knicks. You gotta love the. New York is the Knicks, just like Jet fans. New York Knicks fans are loyal. It's hard getting a ticket up there. And I personally believe the Knicks will turn things around one of these days. I feel like the NBA, and I want to say it's rigged, but eventually the Knicks will win the draft lottery and they'll turn things around. And I'm confident about that. Always going to be a Knicks fan, man. Gotta love the Knicks. Gotta love the Knicks. When I head up to New York, definitely going to go to a Knicks game. Even though they weren't that successful, they kind of underachieved. 37 and 45. I believe the Knicks will eventually turn things around and become a contender. Now, when will that happen? Maybe when James Dolan sells the team. I'm praying on that. Maybe that's why free agents aren't going to the Knicks. It was heartbreaking seeing Kevin Durant take the easy way out and go to the Nets and not go to the Knicks. And Kyrie, well, look how it's working out for them. Let me stop being But eventually some of these guys are going to come over. I'm still hoping for a Zion Williamson. I'm still hoping some of these young guys, they see the historical value in the Garden and what some of these other teams have done when they came to the Garden and dropped some major points on us and how good the atmosphere is. The Bernard King days, man. Players like Carmelo Anthony, a lot of great players or a lot of pretty good players. Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, just the list goes on. Mark Jackson, so Sprewell. There's so many Knicks players I grew up watching or just watching highlights on that were so great. And I think eventually we'll be able to get players and key guys who want to play for them. Watch out for R.J. Barrett. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but I do like how he's maturing. I believe he could be a guy, a consistent all-star in this league. He just has to have that mentality, consistently saying, hey, I want to score. I want to get better. I want to be disciplined on defense. I'm not saying he's going to be Ja Morant, Trae Young, but he's a guy who could get to the basket, and he shows flashes that he could be a consistent all-star. But you put some pretty good pieces around him, or you draft well, then maybe you'll see the Knicks in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, and you pretty much answered my next question, man. I was gonna say, as far as say the New York Knicks, what do you think you guys can, pretty much what happened last year, and also what do you think you guys can improve on? But you just mentioned as well with R.J. Barrett and some other guys, it's definitely some improvements and things to look out for. But so let me just ask you this though, Jansen. As a Knicks fan this past year, you guys obviously made the playoffs. You were saying Knicks in 7 against the Hawks. Nobody believed in the Hawks 2 seasons ago, and boom, you're out in 5. You're out in 5. You know what I mean? But coming into this season, man, how disappointing was it, and what was really the reasons you believe you guys didn't have the most successful season, as a fan for you?
Well, guys, the Knicks team, they overconfident. The team that they gotta get guys. They got to get. Let me say, guys, Evan Fournier, he got to go. He got to go. Look, Julius Randle wasn't the same player. Let's keep it real. He had an outstanding season last year. Julius Randle looked like a legit all-star. Julius Randle was one of the best players in the league last year. And I think Julius Randle played through the fans. They really embraced him. And maybe the pressure this year, he just wasn't the same guy. I want to see more out of Emmanuel quickly. I believe he's a promising young player. But the Knicks got some bums on this team. I'm going to be real. I hate to be disrespectful. They got some bums. They got some guys I'm not too high on. I'm not too high on Mitchell Robinson. Some of these guys are, you're okay. Obi Toppin, he has bust written all over him. Not that good of a player. Yeah, he could dunk the basketball. Yeah, he's a guy who was from New York. But I don't see how the hell it justified him being picked that high. I'm sorry. The Knicks need to draft well. Alice Burks, there's a lot of players on the Knicks. Because I'm a biased Knicks fan. The thing about these Knicks guys, they come in here, they have a couple 20-point games, and they're fan favorites, so we act like they're better than what they really are. They got a bunch of those guys on the team. You might see a highlight or two on ESPN while they're getting blown out by a legit superstar on another team. That's what the Knicks are, man. We got to get back to the fundamentals. I do like Thibodeau as the coach. I do like how disciplined he is on defense, but he runs his starters into the ground. Sometimes these guys are playing too many minutes. I would love to see the Knicks draft well. Let's get a good quality player at, I believe it's number 11. Let's get somebody good. Yeah, it's not a great.
What? How did y'all get to 11? Y'all were so bad this year.
It wasn't as bad as this, but it pretty well.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Here winning 19 games.
No, that's true, man. That's true.
They love that. Sixers.
Watch the Lakers have the 12th pick.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, man. I hear you. And, for me, looking at the Knicks, it's always cool seeing it's always cool seeing Madison Square Garden. Lakers and the Knicks to me, and the Boston Celtics are like the three most popular franchises in the NBA. It's something about when you go to those arenas, they always have the Knicks games on Christmas, on the Sunday showcase. Here in Madison, it's always a 12:30 game. It's always the first game. I think this year was the first time they didn't have the New York Knicks on Christmas, and maybe they did.
NBA champion ourselves. It was a slap in the face. They didn't appreciate that. It was hurtful not seeing the Knicks. I know you didn't ask, but it was hurtful. It was disrespectful.
I think
hopefully that crap won't.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time. Yeah, I noticed because again, usually around that time, us, we might already open our gifts and stuff or whatever it was growing up. But it's like, oh, Dad, basketball's on. You know what I mean? Let's check out the game. Let's go in and see. Let's check out the game and things like that. And let's watch the Knicks. They're on TV. You still there, Brother Jansen? Okay, we're good. You're back. You're good. But no, man. Just like I was saying, it was kind of funny. It was a little hurtful not seeing the Knicks on Christmas. You guys usually the first game. It's in Madison Square Garden. You see Spike Lee. You see the celebrities out on Christmas. The whole day just feels something. I forgot it was the first game this year, but the Knicks wasn't the first game on Christmas. On Christmas this year, they didn't play at all actually. But again, so for me, man, it's like I said. The Lakers, the Knicks. The Celtics, anytime these teams are at least in a competition, the playoffs, it's always exciting. It's always cool to see, Madison Square Garden. I remember this is right after I think they probably had like the mandate or something with New York. The point is all the fans could come in. It was cool to see the Hawks versus the Knicks last year in the playoffs. All the fans, and even though y'all got beaten 5, it was still cool. It's cool to see y'all win a home game. It's like, okay, the Knicks, hey, the Knicks are doing something. You know what I mean? So yeah, but Going to my next question, man. So again, you mentioned the guys earlier: Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony. A lot of these stars back in the day, I guess, quote unquote. So what was one of your favorite moments as a New York Knicks fan?
Probably Jeremy Lin. That was a great moment. Or the moment that my favorite player, Carmelo, they announced that he got traded to the New York Knicks. It was great to see him come home. I was happy to see Carmelo come home. When he was at Syracuse, he won a championship in college, and then seeing him go to the Nuggets, it was a little bit weird, but seeing him dominate there, a young Carmelo Anthony, a guy literally who touched the basketball. You're seeing the highlights right there. The pass right there is probably better than what you're usually accustomed to seeing Carmelo doing, but he was a bona fide scorer, a guy who could just score from anywhere on the block. He gave Kobe and the Lakers a run for their money and gave everybody in the West a run for their money. The turnaround jumpers he could do, the hustling, he was in shape, looked like he was on a decent diet at the time too. So seeing him get traded to New York, it was a dream come true for me. It was an honor watching Carmelo Anthony play in New York, seeing a star want to go home, seeing a guy want to take on the pressure of playing in Madison Square Garden. So that was one of the best moments. I would also say another great moment was seeing Jeremy Lin's sanity, him taking over the NBA. I thought it was a great story. It was great for the NBA at the time. So those are probably some of the top moments. Also, J.R. Smith, love J.R. Seeing J.R. play for the Knicks. Not a lot of great moments though since I've been alive being a Knicks fan, or maybe the 60-point game against the Bobcats when Carmelo went off. But there's a lot of great, just a couple good moments for the Knicks. Nothing spectacular. Probably sticking to the Carmelo take on that one.
No, that's cool, man. It was something with Carmelo. As a New York Knick, it was pretty cool because for me, my favorite my favorite player has always been Kobe Bryant. You know, that's my favorite athlete of all time. Rest in peace. But you know, Carmelo, as far as basketball, he was like one of my top. People don't know he's one of my top 3, top 5 favorite players. You know, of all time as well, or at least you know when he's still playing in the NBA. You know, so I loved it. I loved him when he was. I loved him playing for us. You know, as well for the Lakers this year. But when he was a Knick, man, it was something different. It's like you guys went to the playoffs, I think, at least twice. I know you guys got beat against Miami one of the rounds. You know, getting beat against the Indiana Pacers as well. But you know, I wish they had some more highlights with Carmelo with the Knicks, but it's cool. But but no, man. So you know, for me as well, you know, just seeing Carmelo in the Knick uniform, man, it was really special to see. And you guys got more to broadcast the games because you know Carmelo's there. If you got Melo, man, he's one of the all time greats, especially when it comes to his scoring. You know what I mean? So it was definitely cool to see him in a Knicks uniform, doing what he normally does, man, scoring, having the most points fittingly at Madison Square Garden because we normally, we understand that usually it's the away team, Kobe, LeBron, somebody else. So you know, it was cool to see. It's cool to see Carmelo do his thing as well. And you know, these are just some highlights from Jeremy Lin, just like you mentioned, man. The Jeremy Lin show, man, Lin Sandy as they call it. That month, man, was crazy. It was crazy, man. You know, I remember. I think one of his breaking out games was against Kobe and the Lakers. You know what I mean? I think you guys ended up beating us too back in 2012. Man, I was 17 years old, man. So Lin Sandy having his game and stuff. He also played with he also became a Laker later, or you know, a few years down the line. But you know, Lin Sandy was also, you know, a cool sight to see. It was good for the league, showing disparity. You know, continue to show that hey, it's more than just, you know, you could be a superstar coming from anywhere. You know, especially with Jeremy Lin and you know, the electricity he brought to Madison Square Garden, and everything like that. It was cool as well. And we see right here the pass to Tyson Chandler, man. I forgot, man. Jansen, you guys kind of had some players too. Tyson Chandler, obviously Jeremy Lin for a couple months. Carmelo Anthony, Jason Kidd, Stoudemire.
Yep.
Shumpert.
Big couple. Tyson Chandler definitely had a couple of years. Stoudemire, he was all right when he got traded. I'm not gonna lie. Just him and Carmelo didn't work out. When he first got there, he was playing like a league MVP for like the first 10 games, and then Carmelo got on the team and it just was downhill for him. The injuries.
No, that's true, man. With Stoudemire, it was always the injuries, man. Every single time, and I think, you know, that's kind of even what made him and Steve Nash kind of special in Phoenix. You know, for the folks who don't remember, he started off in Phoenix back in, I believe, was it 2003 or whichever it was, but when they were dominating the 05-06 season, Stoudemire, Steve Nash was that 1-2 punch, and of course they had other guys like Barbosa, Rajah Bell, Sean Marion. You know, so Stoudemire, he always had that potential. He always had the potential. He just got hurt too much. So you know, him being a Knick with Chauncey Billups, I forgot you guys had him as well. You know, you definitely have some talent. But yeah, man. You know, so him with the Knicks, it was cool, man. It was cool to see all those guys. You guys had a lot of talent. But I know, man. I know that I know that reaching the conference finals or the NBA finals, man. You know, I know it's like, dang, you guys kind of had your window, but at the same time, when your window was open, the Miami Big Three was there. You know what I mean? So you can only do so much. You guys weren't gonna beat them. You already knew that too. But no, man. All that being said, man, you know, you pretty much answered all the questions, Brother Jansen. I appreciate you being on the show. You know, I appreciate, you know, it's the work you helped me as a broadcaster as well. You know, me graduating from college, man, the Short University 2018, sports communications. You know, I know about the game. I already have my knowledge, but you definitely helped me out when it comes to speaking on camera more often, more comfortable. The broadcasting game, interviews, things from our demo reel, and things like that, man. So it's actually a blessing that, you know, that I can have you on here, and also just help me out in my game, man. You know, and for those who's watching this as well, you know, Jansen, I need to, one of the tips I need to get from you as well, man. Find a way to put the thumbnail and everything down here, as far as, you know, your Instagram and things like that. But if you want to give people your Facebook and Instagram, man, go ahead, man.
Jansen, personal. Follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Also, Just Good Network. Visit justgoodnetwork.com. We got opportunities out here. Just taking everything from the 50 states. We're going overseas. We're in Africa, baby. Colombia. We're just continuing to grow and build. And Sean, appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the hard work you do. Appreciate you inviting me on. And it's going to be a big year. It's going to continue to be a big year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God bless you, man. And real quick, guys, I got 1 minute clip to show. You can go on and go, man, if you need to go. Appreciate you, brother Jansen. But guys, have a clip talking about mental health. Obviously, it's mental health awareness month. So my dad is doing something as well. He had a recent interview, I believe, with two great young ladies. Who's in the field. I think that talks about mental health. So this is just a quick clip that I'm about to show.
On the next segment of Speak Up with Sean Marcus, tune in as we speak and learn more about mental health and awareness. Are we really there? Do we know enough? And how can we help? Join me as I welcome Dr. Nicole Bramwell and Anita P. Stoudemire, professional licensed therapist. As we discuss these issues, we really would like you to join us. And thank you so much. Tell all your friends, and let's try to do more things to help one another. I'm Sean Marcus. See you soon.
Again, that's my father, Sean Marcus Senior. So continue to support him with that. Everything talking about with the mental health awareness. Check out that recent interview that's going to be showing soon on Sean. Speak Up with Sean Marcus. All right, guys, my dad's little signing out. But again, guys, stay blessed. I'll see you soon.
Hey, what's up, America? Thank you for checking out the show. If you like the content and the vibe, come join us. Click on the link below.